Welcome to the 5th Annual Johnson Memorial Hospital Foundation Virtual Gala. Now, here's your host for the evening, WRTV's Rafael Sanchez.
Good evening. I'm Rafael Sanchez with WRTV, but you know me as your neighbor. And welcome to this virtual presentation of Johnson Memorial Health's Foundation, Come Alive, as this event benefits mental health. It is great to be with you. I really miss you. And I can't wait to be back together with you in one big room anywhere in Indiana. But as we continue to social distance and, of course, deal with what is COVID-19, we're going to play it safe tonight, and we're going to do the things the right way. We just do this virtually. So if you're joining me tonight on your smartphone or your computer, thank you. Thank you so much again for being with us and making an investment in making the lives of families here in central Indiana, specifically in Johnson County, better by, of course, supporting mental health services at Johnson Memorial Health. So thank you for joining us. In fact, for those of you of a certain age, as you can imagine, I have a number of different suits that I'll change into. So I will be sort of the Tom Jones for those of you of that generation. Now, those of you who may be a little bit more millennial, like a Justin Bieber, I will change every once in a while to make sure that I keep you on your toes. Tonight I'm coming to you really in front of a green screen. So what you think you see, it's all the magic of the production team. So thank you to the production team. I shouldn't be moving around so much. They're probably getting mad at me already. But as you know, I love to move around, so here we are. Listen, let's get this party started. I need your donations. Yes, I need your donations. But before we get to collecting your dollars, please welcome tonight Mr. Doug Stewart.
Thank you, Rafael. Our foundation is honored to have Rafael and his wife, Beth, support our foundation and our need to increase behavioral health services in Johnson County all of our 5 years of doing this. Which brings me to the point, I cannot believe this is the 5th gala. This has been unbelievable. Who would have guessed, talking about this event 6 or 7 years ago, to be able to pull it off, and now looking back, having raised over $400,000 for our cause has been astounding. The JMH Foundation goal of increasing mental health access within Johnson County is our goal. Our goal this year is to raise $100,000 at our event. It is virtual, it is our broadcast, but we appreciate everyone that's taking the time, either in a group or individually, to sign on and be a part of our event. I'm always humbled over the years to see how many of us in the community stop what we're doing for an evening, reach out and help a friend, a neighbor, or a stranger who are suffering from the multitude of behavioral issues. By volunteering your time or supporting us with dollars, we appreciate everyone who is involved this evening. This event is a true testament of our community that comes together to support a specific cause. We know we're not alone on this journey. Rather, we are accompanied by our sponsors and individuals who continue to show support of our efforts to raise money for this crucial need. We have been extremely pleased with the momentum of the event and look forward to hopefully raising our $100,000 goal this evening. We have been blessed over the last 3 years to have a great community partner and our platinum sponsor again for the 3rd year in Innovative Castings Technologies. Jack and Sandy Lago, along with all of their employees, have been wonderful sponsors and supporters of the Johnson Memorial Hospital Foundation. We thank you. You are an unbelievable community partner for us. At this time, I'd like you all to raise a glass and let's make a toast. I know it's not like being together, but in your mind, think of the last few years of watching General Umbarger and Rowe shuffle around the dance floor, or Ryan Ford doing his Michael Jackson, beat it routine, or all you lovely ladies that were out there kicked your shoes off under the table and you're all out there jumping up and down on the floor. We really appreciate your support. Cheers. Come alive.
It's been quite an unprecedented year. But despite this pandemic, have you not found that communities have come together? We have found that ray of hope. We have found ways to make those connections. We have not lost our sense of community. And when it comes to this issue of mental health, we are finding that people are so interested in making this community a much better place to live. Among them are Jack and Sandy Loggle. Let's take a look at how their company continues to contribute to this amazing cause.
Down to the south side of Johnson County, where Johnson Memorial Health in Franklin, the healthcare workers that work in the COVID-19 unit, what they do when they go to work is they suit up in powered air purifying respirators for the best protection against the coronavirus. But recently, the hospital needed some replacement parts for the units that just were not available. Rich Nye now reports on a small business that turned to a 3D printer to help provide a solution.
A small plastic connector allows clean air to flow to healthcare workers under the hood in the Johnson Memorial Health COVID-19 unit. The device is called a Powered Air Purifying Respirator. PAPR is the acronym.
We want to use the PAPRs because they provide our staff with the best protection possible. So we really didn't want to even think about going down to the N95 mask for those people who were working with positive COVID patients.
But replacement connectors are simply not available. The hospital contacted local business Innovative 3D Manufacturing.
We're used to making jet engine parts and all kinds of crazy wild stuff and implants and everything from a prototype standpoint. So to make some plastic fittings, which are really easy for us to do, it's nice to be able to offer that service and help them out and really quick.
A digital model and prototype was ready in 24 hours, and in just a few days, the shop produced about 40 connectors.
Well, it's said all the time, we're all in this together. And this is a great example of someone from the local community stepping up to help a hospital in need. So I can't express my gratitude enough.
Another 9 of these connectors is on the 3D printing machine right now. The whole process takes about 6 hours, working right now on layer 146 of 366.
These have really saved us. Innovative 3D Manufacturing has put 10 of these devices back into service. We've never felt more love from the local community. And I think sometimes we work in the hospital and you forget how much the community does depend on you, but also how much we depend on the community.
We would want to do our part for the local, people.
A small part making a big difference in the fight against COVID-19.
Tonight, we want to thank the corporate sponsors who are joining the JMH Foundation to help improve access to behavioral health care in Johnson County. Our platinum sponsor for this evening, Innovative Casting Technologies. Our gold sponsors, the Daily Journal, Digital AIM Media, and Johnson Memorial Health. Our silver sponsors, American Health Network, Optum, Blue & Company, Boone County Emergency Medicine, Cerner, Clever Dogs Media, Franklin College, Horizon Bank, Otterbein Senior Life, Raymond James Stewart and Evans Wealth Management, Raymond James AWE Wealth Management, and Fletcher Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Our bronze sponsors, Adult and Child Health, First Merchants Bank, Indiana Members Credit Union, Johnson County REMC, Mutual Savings Bank, and Radiology of Indiana PC. Our physician sponsors, Dr. Gaston Dana, Dr. Justin Miller, and Dr. Ryan White. And finally, our auction and event sponsors, John and Beth Auld, Huddleston and Huddleston, Keller Office Supply, and David and Nancy Wiesman. And now, please welcome Executive Director of the Johnson Memorial Health Foundation, Kelsey Caston, and JMH President and CEO, Dr. David Dunkel.
Thank you everyone for joining us for our first virtual gala. Although we're not in person, we are glad that you have decided to join us here tonight. We're excited to continue to raise funds to improve access to mental and behavioral health care services in Johnson County.
It's hard to believe it's been 5 years since we started this great gala. The last year has been like no other year. When you look at the amount of bereavement, loss, fear, it's no surprise that the incidence of anxiety, depression, substance abuse, alcohol abuse has greatly increased. Never before has the need for access to behavioral health care services been more needed than it is today.
So thank you for joining us. We're going to be able to reach our goal this evening. Thank you to all the sponsors that have helped us get here tonight, as well as your bidding and donating on your cell phone. So you should receive text messages throughout the night. We're using Qtego as our mobile bidding partner, as we have in years past. So be sure to get on there and check out those silent auction items. Silent auction will be open until 9:00 p.m.
We thank you again for all your support through the years. We've been able to grow the services that we offer through Tricia Duncan, who helps people navigate through the confusing world of getting access to behavioral health care, and then Kimberly Beck, who helps people meet their needs to help get them the counseling, the interventions that they need. Without a doubt, I feel that the work of these two has helped to save lives in Johnson County and help to decrease the severity of mental illness around us.
So please raise your glasses with us for another toast to a fun evening with the Johnson Memorial Hospital Foundation.
So as you make your donation tonight, you're probably wondering, who are we helping? We hear the word mental health services. We know where the hospital is. We know it's full of just amazing professionals who are dedicated to healthcare. They are our healthcare heroes, and to them, we are so thankful for all that they did during this unprecedented year. But where does your dollar go? Who does it help? I want you to meet Tina Cashman. She appreciates your donation tonight.
COVID has impacted everybody's lives. It has added a layer of trauma.
The pandemic has caused a significant increase across all demographics of folks that are showing up needing help.
From April until really about November, we saw a big uptake in what we consider mental health crises.
I could tell you from my perspective, mental health is something we know we want to offer more access, and we're taking all the steps, and I see the foundation as the biggest piece there of offering access.
It's affected not only the resources that we had in the hospital, as far as staff, as far as equipment, but it also, I think, taxed everybody mentally.
COVID for us has really highlighted some of the areas that we've been missing care, and mental health is one of those.
There are more beds available for COVID patients right now than there are for mental health patients.
My name is Tina Cashman. My husband is Michael. We've been married almost 30 years. And March of 2020 came around and changed my life forever. He started coughing a little bit. So we called Dr. Mader, and he was like, Mike, I don't like that cough. We need to get you tested. Never dreamt in my wildest dreams he would have tested positive. And I'll be real honest, I panicked. I didn't know what to do. I just didn't know. So the doctor's office said, Tina, just write it out. Keep in contact. So all weekend long, my daughter and my niece and all of us were taking food, putting it outside on our porch for him so he didn't have to cook. When I went back Monday evening to drop off a dinner meal, the food wasn't taken. So I FaceTimed him and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? So I talked to him about it, and I wrote a note on a piece of paper, and it said, I heart you, and I put it up to FaceTime. And I asked him, what's this say? And he's like, you're just being silly. You're just being silly. I said, what does it say? Well, he couldn't tell me. We called 911. It was the Bargersville Fire Department, and we told them, I said, he's positive. So they came in all this gear. And while you're going through it, you just do it. It's like anything else in life, you just do it. But when you step back, it's insane. They came in these hazmat suits, and I saw him talking to Michael, and then he turned around and gave the thumbs up that apparently that meant we're taking him. Mike doesn't even remember it. So we followed the ambulance to the hospital, and we sat in the parking lot. We sat in the parking lot for 6 hours. because you don't know where to go. You don't know what to do. So about an hour and a half into it, they called on my cell phone. And she said, I'm here with your husband. And I said, good. How's he doing? Can I talk to him? She said, yep, for just a minute. And he says, hey, babe. I said, well, what's going on? He said, I'm gonna go to sleep. I said, what for? He said, because they say I need to. But I love you. And tells us I love her. So the nurse gets back on, and I said, what does that mean? She said, we're putting him on a ventilator. I said, I'm sorry? She said, Mrs. Cashman, he's very, very sick. I called every shift, and I would talk with every shift change, every day. It was the 11th day, that evening shift. I said, can you guys put him back on with me for a little bit? And I just said some things I probably shouldn't have said because I was yelling. I was screaming mad at him at this point because I was like, you can't leave anyway. And the nurse said his blood pressure is going way, way up. Whatever you're saying, you need to stop it. I said, okay. Instead of getting a phone call, I got a FaceTime at like 4 something in the morning. And she just, they were tears everywhere. And I'm like, oh my gosh, something happened. She said, he woke up. I said, what do you mean he woke up? She said, we took him off at 4:45 this morning. That was April 27th. And he was breathing on his own. And I just hit the ground. He woke up being very delirious. So he was in there 31 days. And then went to rehab for 8 days. He had to learn to walk, talk, feed himself. He couldn't do anything. It wiped him out. COVID took anything that Michael had an imperfection on and intensified it. He had carpal tunnel, it froze his hand shut. He had to have surgery. He had a rotator cuff injury, he couldn't lift his arm. So he was out of work almost 10 and a half months.
The overall umbrella of traumatic experience, and COVID has definitely been massively traumatic, is a sense of a loss of control for that individual. Either something that's happening to them directly or indirectly because they're witnessing the trauma happen to someone else. And in Tina's case, she witnessed this happen to her husband, a near-death experience. And you just feel powerless as a person, as a victim of trauma. You feel powerless in that situation, and there's also a sense of horror that goes along with. And so I would say in that sense, Tina is very much like other people who are suffering due to the public crisis.
So we got him back home. I get a phone call from his work. They canceled our insurance. After 24 weeks, the policy, that's all you get. I'm like, so what do we do?
Tina is an example of many of the patients that I've seen during the pandemic. She came in to see her provider, and I don't even think she realized at the time how much all of this was weighing on her.
So I go to the doctor's office. I don't even know what I went for. And Beth, who's a nurse practitioner, she said, Tina, you look a little stressed. I said, I am, absolutely. And she's like, you okay? And I said, I don't know. I think I am, but I feel like I'm just going through the motions. She said, do you have an hour? She said, I want you to talk to somebody. I said, yeah, whatever, sure. So we walked around the corner, and I sat in this little room, and this lady named Trisha said, how's your day? I said, not so great. And I'm like, what am I doing? She said, I'm just here to talk.
The provider brought her to my office, and when she came in and sat down, she was tearful, she was overwhelmed, she felt guilty, she was going through all kinds of emotions, and I just reassured her that that's normal.
And I said, honey, I don't have money. My insurance is canceled, I don't have it. And she was like, that's okay. And I said, no, I don't think you're hearing what I'm saying. I would love to talk to you, but I don't have it. She said, how about if we do? And I said, I don't understand.
The thing that JMH is doing right is that through the foundation, we provide a coordinator in the office that intakes you, sees what kind of services you need, and gets you into the services quickly that you do need. In addition to that, the foundation also supports having a counselor in the office So for those 55% who currently are not getting any help out of the people who have mild to moderate mental health disease, at JMH, because of this program, we can now take care of that and take care of you in a timely manner so that you get the help that you need.
She said, I'm gonna have somebody get a hold of you. Her name is Kimberly. And they're gonna make an appointment, and maybe you can talk every week because you've been through a lot.
Tina came to me via referral from Tricia, my coworker, who had met with her first.
I said, but there again, I appreciate this, but I don't have the money. She said, Mrs. Cashman, you're not listening to me. We've got this. And I said, well, how?
Tina expressed some financial concern of not being able to pay for services via insurance, or her copayment being really high. So she was told about the program that the foundation supports and was really excited to find out that that existed because that gave her options she wouldn't otherwise have.
She seemed very surprised that we had this program here, and grateful and relieved.
We completed an intake over the phone, and she's been seeing me for therapy since that time.
And it has completely changed my thoughts about everything. And your mind is what makes your whole body go. So if that's not clear, I don't know. I just don't know what you would have.
What the foundation has been able to provide are additional resources that we're desperate for. You know, Johnson County does have inpatient facilities. They have outpatient resources as well, but quite honestly, they're saturated. We desperately need more psychiatric mental health resources.
The referrals have increased from every practice here at JMH, not just family physicians, but pediatrics, women's care, internal medicine, the emergency department. Kimberly and I serve all of those offices and departments, and it's been a large increase in those referrals.
I think mental health is the last frontier as far as being stigmatized. We still have a lot of stigmas in our culture.
There are people that are living with mental illness their entire life. And A, don't know where to go, B, can't afford it, and a lot of people put a stigma, well, you know, you're gonna see a therapist. No, I rock it out, man. I love my therapist. I love her to death.
There's so many more things that we could do. I think we've just scratched the surface. But I think there's always opportunity to do more, do better, and serve more people.
There's a lot of undiagnosed illness out there. There's a lot of patients that do not know where to go because those resources aren't apparent. What I think the foundation has the potential to offer with the funds being available are additional training opportunities for the providers, the doctors, the nurse practitioners, the PAs that are seeing these patients.
Having more counselor hours, having more direct access to a psychiatrist to manage the medication, having counselors available that could do group meetings.
We still have room to grow at JMH, and I think if anything, it's taken a really tough year to make us realize some of the areas that we're missing care and care aspects. If you think about how wide care is and how many aspects of it there are for everybody, self-included, family included, we're missing a few areas. And I like the steps we're taking. We're not done. It's been something that we've focused on a little bit more this year, not only with the foundation help, but all of us pitching in and kind of thinking about what is it that we need as a community healthcare leader. It's one area that we know we have to make a change.
Donations to the foundation, or donations from the foundation, to make sure that this service remains in place and available is imperative.
I just hope this program stays, because it's absolutely needed.
Without the funds to support the mental health needs that we need in our community, it's not sustainable. It goes away. And that's not a service to our community. Patients are then put in situations where they may harm themselves. They're actually saving lives by contributing and providing funds to sustain this program.
So what I'm asking for is all of you to support two things. One, help us break down the stigma for people who have mental health disease. And then secondly, help us to support the needed services for our patients, and your donation tonight helps us to help our community do that.
I couldn't tell anyone how happy I am from where I'm at. I came from a very dark place, but I got through it. Everything's good. And now I'm on the healing process.
Tina, thank you for sharing your story. You know, whether it's in a virtual setting or in person, it is always so difficult for someone to really show the rawness and step forward and say, listen, I want to tell you my story. So Tina, thank you so much for sharing with us your thoughts, and we are so thankful for you and your family, and we hope that you continue to benefit from all the services provided at Johnson Memorial Health. You know, tonight we are hoping to raise $100,000. That's a big number, but we know that the need is big. Before I stepped in tonight to do this, I really was not aware of what I was supposed to do. And so even the folks that are filming this right now have no idea what I'm going to say. I did ask, am I doing the ask? And they said, yeah. I said, okay. And maybe it was fate that this was my moment in time to do this, because tonight, you may not know this or not, but if you're looking at your phones, I'm at another event for a different group. And initially I had canceled this event because I couldn't do it. And Kelsey said, no, we're going to tape this thing. I said, okay. So I wasn't supposed to be here for this, but I hope that my sharing my personal story will allow you to see how mental health services are critical for all people, because sometimes you never know what cross someone is carrying. I want to share with you that last March the 6th, my best friend, the guy that was at my wedding, my best man, my fraternity brother, his name is Jose Rodriguez, 48 years old. He died of cancer. And that was hard for me because I had not had someone in my age group. He's a father of 3, loves his wife, just a good guy. Went to high school together. I had never had anyone at my age group die. And that was tough. It was really tough. And luckily at WRTV, we have, we're able to call for mental health services because I needed it. And you know, it's very difficult when you are a celebrity to admit that you need something, especially when you are in a job where every day you do stories. I've done this event now for 5 years, so I'm fully aware of all the services that are out there. But at some point, you know, in your weakness, you find your strength. So I come to you tonight to let you know, because I'm okay with it, that I needed mental health services. I needed to talk to someone to walk me through the death of someone that I loved, that I still love, that who's in my heart every day. And it's still difficult to think about it. I'm blessed at the fact that we were able to have a funeral. As you may recall, the pandemic by mid-March did not allow people to really grieve and see the final process of death. And so I was able to grieve with the family. We were able to cry and do all those things. But I needed that mental health expert. I went to a church in Indianapolis and I met with this lady, real nice lady, and we talked about death and we talked about those things and helped me get back onto the road to recovery. I find myself to be lucky because I have an employer that has those services. But as we know in our community, there are those people that don't have those services or may not know how to make that connection. And that's really where you step in. So that's why tonight is critical, because there are many people in our community, in our county, that don't know where to go, that may not have that person or that employer, that may not have that strength or that courage to say, I need help, or where can I get the help? And here we are tonight raising money for this great cause, which is to make sure that the people that need mental health services in our community have it. So I hope that tonight you'll think about the people that may be around you that in silence could be suffering and are afraid to even step forward and tell their story, or maybe who are not suffering but may be embarrassed to tell their story, or maybe looking for that moment in time to hear a story that will say, you know what, at Johnson Memorial Health, they have a program and they have a trained staff and they do good work. And it's in my community, so it's not this far away place, it's right there in my neighborhood. And so tonight I hope that you'll consider making a donation. I hope that you'll consider helping a life, making someone feel better about themselves, helping put someone back together with their family. Because we know that mental health is a crisis in our country. Sometimes that is overlooked, sometimes that is shunned. But why is that? Let's not do that tonight, right? Tonight we're talking about giving someone hope. And tonight, every dollar you give is about hope. I hope that you'll donate, and I hope that we can raise the $100,000. Now, since we can't be together, I'm hoping that all my Franklin College peeps will appreciate the nice blue bling, and hopefully you'll take a selfie and send it in as you're watching this event at home or wherever you may be around the world. We thank you again for making a donation, for investing in mental health services in Johnson County. Of course, we have to entertain you, and as we come alive tonight, please welcome illusionist TJ as he shares these amazing card tricks just with you.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody, and thank you very much, Raphael, for that incredible introduction. By the way, nice jacket. I was going to wear the same one, but I didn't want that virtual gala clash. You know what I'm talking about? It would be awkward. It just wouldn't be. I'm going more for the James Bond look. That's what I'm doing. Well, good evening again, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. My name is interactive illusionist TJ Tana, and with the magic of technology, I'm coming to you live from my studio here in Long Island, New York. Can you tell by the accent? I've been doing magic and mind reading ever since I was 5 years old, and it has brought me all over the world to perform in countless countries, different corporate events, private parties, and I'm so happy to be here right now for you guys for the Johnson Memorial Hospital Foundation Virtual Gala for Mental Health. Let's get started. Let's not waste any time. You know, a lot of people think that as a virtual magician, I'm probably going to be using some sort of camera trickery tonight. There are no camera tricks, even this one. It's going to look like a camera trick, but it really isn't. Let me show it to you right now. It's the King of Spades. Now, if you're watching carefully, you'll notice something very interesting about this king. There's a giant hole in it. That's right. There's no head. He went through the whole Marie Antoinette process. Look it up. It's on Google. It's on Wikipedia. It's kind of crazy. You can see my fingers behind the hole. I can even take a pencil and poke it right through the hole of the card. You know the hole is there. You know the hole is real. But here's the thing. I'm a magician. I'm supposed to make you think what's possible is impossible. What's impossible is possible. Because that hole that you just saw, well, it's not actually there. You see, it's just a figment of your imagination. It's just an illusion. In fact, it is just a black sticker on the back of a regular playing card. Now you're paying attention. Now you're getting a little bit closer to your television screen. That's right. Let's try another thing here. Let's make sure everybody here is actually ready for some mind-reading experiments tonight. Because If you have received that box, you will also have received a small packet of playing cards. Now would be the time to take the cards out and have them next to you because we're going to use them in just a few moments. So have these ready. But let's make sure you're absolutely ready for the rest of the magic I'm about to show you. I want everybody to do this. Everybody shake it out. Everybody stand up. That's right, you have to peel the blanket away, put down the Doritos, stand up. Everybody shake out your fingers like this. Very good. Everybody wiggle your fingers like that. This does nothing, it just makes you look really silly. And you're all doing it. Everybody do this. Everybody take your first finger and point it up like this. Take your thumb and go like this. Take your thumb and finger and make a circle like you're saying okay. Now watch me. Everybody do exactly as I do. Everybody take that circle and touch it to your chin. Nope, that's your cheek. Your chin's down here. I think I got just about every one of you. That's right, I can see you. That's right, I saw you, sir. This one guy, I saw him, he went like this. He went... I know how it works because I'm an illusionist, I'm a mentalist. My job is to get inside of your mind and influence your thought. Maybe I can influence a few more of your thoughts using just a few regulation playing cards. Watch carefully. This is going to be for everybody. Whether you're sitting with your family or you're by yourself in front of your computer screen right now, I want you to pay attention to these cards. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to memorize as many things as you possibly can about these cards. And then afterwards, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and hopefully, you'll get some of them correct. You ready? Here we go. 5 seconds, memorize as many things as you can. 5 seconds on the clock, starting now. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That's all the time you get. First question, how many cards did I have? If you said 5, you're doing well so far. Second question, what was the card on the bottom of the face? If you said it was blank, you'd be wrong because it was the Ace of Spades. They always miss that one. I don't know why. Last question, what color were the backs of the cards? I can hear you. Yeah, you're saying red. That's what I would have said, but it's not. I've been giving you the hint the whole time. I've been wearing the color blue, and so have the cards been the color blue on the back. Okay, last question. If you missed the Ace of Spades and you missed the blue backs, did you miss the entire royal flush? I'm sure you did. That's right, baby. It is magic, and I am inside of your head. You know, as a magician, a professional performing magician, a lot of people ask me, TJ, how do you make money as a magician? It's the same question my parents have been asking me for 28 years. You see, when I was younger and I wasn't such a seasoned magician, I had to think of a way to make more money out of the money I was making from the allowance that my parents would give me every week for doing little chores around the house. And guess what? My allowance was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 $1 bills. That's it. But to me, 5 years old, that's a lot of money. I could buy a lot of gum with $5. Or depending on where you live, maybe not so much. But watch this. Here's what I would do. I was 5 years old and I learned the power of hypnosis. Being able to make people think that I had more money than I actually did. Let me explain. Check this out. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 $1 bills. Again, real money, dollar bill, y'all. Watch the money. Now, if you were a magician, and I'm asking you at home right now, if you were a magician or a wizard like I am, and you can do anything with a bunch of $1 bills, what would be the first thing you would do to them? Multiply them, right? Maybe turn them into hundreds. Watch this. Watch the ones. It'll happen on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And every single bill changes into a $100 bill. Pretty cool, right? Doesn't it look real? And if you were here, you would feel the money. It would feel real. It smells real. It tastes real. I'm not going to taste it. That's gross. But this does look like real $100 bills, and that is how I would fool everybody at local grocery stores into thinking I had more money. But really, you're just being hypnotized. These are still actually $1 bills, even though they look like hundreds. Maybe I can snap you out of this current hypnosis state that you're in. I want you to watch the $100 bills. All I do is snap my fingers, and you will leave the hypnotic state you're currently in. Watch the hundreds. 1, 2, 3. And every single bill goes right back to a $1 bill. You know, the more that I think about it now, if I can turn ones into hundreds, Why am I doing virtual magic shows? I don't know. But that's the trick. Hope you like that one. All right. Let's do something right now, but let's do something with your playing cards, the cards that you have at home right now. If you have your deck of playing cards from the Johnson Memorial Foundation Virtual Gala gift box, go ahead and take them out and give them a little shuffle. Little shuffle, get it? It's a little, because they're little card. Okay, I'll just do the magic part. Actually, while you're taking those cards out and shuffling them, a lot of people wonder, as a magician, how many decks of cards do I have? Okay, to be honest, I have enough playing cards to last me probably 3 lifetimes. I buy my cards in bulk, I go to Costco. But lately, the playing cards you can get now from the playing card industry are actually quite interesting. I get these mailers in the mail. They come flat for packing purposes, but any deck that I want, I can actually get. Let me explain. Like if I wanted the red deck of playing cards, even though it's just a picture, if I just snap, I can get the cards to fall right out of the picture. This is crazy stuff, 2021, who would know? So if you have your cards out, perfect, take them out right now, and we're gonna do a little something fun. Now, I'm gonna use these bigger playing cards, but you're gonna use those small playing cards. I'm gonna use the bigger playing cards just that way it's easier for you to follow along. Now I'm gonna switch over to camera number 2, that way you can see the cards and you can see my hands. What I'd like you to do now is this. Everybody take those cards, and you're going to take the cards and do the following. You're going to make 3 piles of 3, like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Take the rest of the cards and put those aside. We don't need them. Out of the 3 piles you see in front of you right now, I'd like you to pick up one of those piles. And again, this is your decision. Every decision you make is your decision right now. So pick any one of those 3 piles up, and I want you to glimpse at the bottom card, and I want you to remember that bottom card. Once you've memorized that bottom card, I want you to take that pile of 3 and put it on top of any of the 2 remaining piles. And then pick up that pile and put it on top of the last pile. So now you're thinking of one card in that pile. Now, pick up the pile, put it in your hand, and I want you to square them up like this. Now, here's how this is going to work. You are about to spell the card out loud. Let me explain. Every deck of playing cards, actually, every card in the deck has a name, a first name, a middle name, and a last name. For example, the 7 of spades. The first name of the 7 of spades is the name 7, S-E-V-E-N. The middle name is of, and the last name is spades, S-P-A-D-E-S. Or maybe the 4 of diamonds. The first name would be 4, middle name of, last name diamonds. So here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to think of the card, the one that you remembered that was on the bottom of that stack. I want you to think of that card's first name. And you are going to spell that first name, one card for each letter. So if you were thinking of 6, for example, you would go S-I-X. Then you'd put the rest on top. So go ahead and spell the first name of your card. I'll give you a moment. And if you need help spelling, turn to your neighbor. Perfect. Now pick up your cards. Now we're going to spell the middle name. And every card has the same middle name. That is the name of. So that's O-F. Everybody deal 2 cards and put the rest on top. Perfect. Now we're going to do the last name. The last name depends on which suit your card was. Clubs, hearts, spades, or diamonds. So go ahead and pick up those cards, and you're going to spell, plural, that last name. So if you were thinking of clubs, you'd go C-L-U-B-S. If you were thinking of spades, you would go S-P-A-D-E-S, and so on and so forth. So go ahead and spell that last name and put the cards together. All right, one more thing to do. Pick up those cards, and we're going to spell one more thing. And that is the word magic. Magic is the reason why we're all here today, the magic of technology, the magic of you, and the magic of Johnson Memorial Hospital Foundation. We're going to spell the word magic. Are you ready? M-A-G-I, and take the C card and put that aside. M-A-G-I, and put the C card aside. Take the rest of the cards and put them away. I want everybody to think about this for a minute. We all had our own playing cards. We all spelled out our own card. We shuffled the cards at the beginning. We dealt the cards. We made a giant mess, and we're all left with one card from the word magic. In a moment, I'm going to ask everybody to flip that card over. And if that is the card that you memorized at the very beginning, that would be a miracle. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Turn it over. If that is your card, it should be. And that is a miracle. Give yourselves a big round of applause. That's right. Yeah. We got sound effects. Big budget show. Hope that worked for you. You know, a lot of people do ask me more questions after my performances. And the biggest question I always get is they say, TJ, what is that one trick that you saw when you were a junior magician that made you want to stick with magic for the rest of your life? Well, here it is. It is the mystery of the red handkerchief. Watch the red handkerchief. I'm going to poke the handkerchief into my fist all the way. I'm going to snap my fingers, say the magic words, Lady Gaga. It's the magic words. And just like magic, the handkerchief disappears and it turns into an egg. Yes! Crowd goes wild. I'm going to teach you how this trick works. It's very simple. The trick, it's a fake egg. It's just around this time. Easter had just passed. If you celebrate, this is a fake hollowed out Easter egg. Very simple trick to do. I'm going to teach you step by step how this works. All you need is a hollowed out fake egg. You can buy this at Michael's or online on Amazon. This is a decoy egg. It's not laid by a magician. It's laid by a decoy. Listen, the jokes are going to get worse as we go along, so just pace yourself. So what you do is this. You get yourself a fake egg, hollow it out. You also need a handkerchief. Kids, if you're watching, if you don't have a handkerchief, don't worry. Just go to your mom's closet, get her favorite scarf, cut into a bunch of small pieces, and you'll be good to go. Okay. Now, once you have those two objects, you can begin the trick. So, the first thing you do is you're going to show your hands empty. You can place both of those things into your pocket or into a box on the table. And you say, ladies and gentlemen, watch as I show you the world's most famous red handkerchief illusion. So you're going to reach into your pocket and you're going to take out the handkerchief. But what the audience does not know is that when you pull the handkerchief out, you will also be containing the secret egg, secretly behind your fingers, okay? You see, when you pull the handkerchief out with your hand, the audience can't know that you're also holding another object secretly. So what you want to do is you want to hold the egg between the first 3 fingers and the fleshy part of your palm, okay? You want to conceal the egg in your hand. In magic, this is called concealing the egg inside your hand. This is technical, I know. Now, once you have the egg in your hand, keep your hand in a natural position. This is natural for me because I'm part Velociraptor. Great, 3 people. Nerds unite. Okay, here we go. Take the handkerchief. Now you're going to wave the handkerchief in the air. This is going to get everybody's attention. Once you have their attention, you're going to take the handkerchief and begin to poke it into your supposed empty fist, but really, it's going inside of the fake egg. Oh, by the way, make sure when you're poking the handkerchief in, do it this way, not this way, okay? This is good magic. This is bad magic, okay? So poke the handkerchief all the way into the egg. Make sure no ends are sticking out. And when you're ready, you snap your fingers, you say a snazzy magic word like Lady Gaga, Johnson Memorial Hospital Foundation, and just like magic, the handkerchief turns into an egg. You take a bow, and the audience gives you a big round of applause like this. Standing ovation. But there are a couple of tips for this trick. Tip number 1, make sure when you're performing the trick, make sure the egg is always facing this way. Okay? Tip number 2, when you're performing the trick, make sure the audience is always in front of you and not behind you. Okay? From the front, good magic. From the back, bad magic. Okay? This is good. This is bad. This is wizard. This is muggle. Okay? But do you remember at the very beginning of the show where I peeled that black hole off the card? Well, if you ever get into a predicament where the audience can see the hole in the egg, don't panic. Just do exactly as I do. Just snap your fingers, little hot breath. Peel the hole off the egg, then take the egg and crack it into a glass, and the audience will give you a big round of applause just like this. Cheers, everybody. I'm kidding. Not that kind of show. I already have enough protein for the day. Thank you, everybody. The yolk is on you. Okay, more magic. How about we do some more mind reading? This is for everybody right now. I want everybody right now to stand on up, get real close to your television, get really close to your smartphone, real close to your iPad, and you're going to make a decision right now. I have a couple of playing cards here like I did before, except these are a bunch of court cards. In a moment, I'm going to show the court cards to the camera. I'm going to give you 2 seconds to hyper-focus in on one of these court cards. I want everybody right now to participate. Everybody's going to think of one of these cards. And hopefully, if my influence is working perfectly, I'm going to get everybody to think of the same card. So, here we go. I'm going to turn the cards over in just a moment. I want everybody to think of one of these 5 cards. Are you ready? Set. Go ahead and memorize one of these 5 cards. You got one? Don't forget it. Now, you're thinking of one of these 5 cards. I'm going to try to guess what card you're thinking of. So just look at me right here in the camera. Look at me right in your screen. Get real close to your screen. Not too close, sir. Please back up. I can smell your breath from here. It's the Doritos. It's Cool Ranch. I love it. Let's see here. I'm going to go for a card. I'm going to go for this one here. This is the card that you're thinking of right now. I'm going to place this card. You know, I'm so confident. I'm going to throw that card away, leaving me with just 4 cards. I am now going to turn over these cards, and if I did in fact remove your card, and your card is now missing from this stack of 4, I want everybody in your household to go crazy. I want you to clap and scream and cheer as loud as you can. That way the neighbors think something is happening in your home, but something good. A magic trick. Here we go. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. How did I do? I got your card, didn't I? Come on, that's pretty good. That is good mind reading right there. Unbelievable. Thank you all so much. Well, I want to do one last thing for you guys this evening, and we're going to do one more thing using your cards, the cards that you have right now. So take them out again, give them another little shuffle, and this is also going to be all your decision. I want everybody right now to take out the cards, and I want everybody to take out just 4 cards. Any 4 cards you want. Take them out right now. Any 4 cards you want. It does not matter. The choice is yours. Take out 4 cards. Any 4 cards you want. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be these. Any 4 cards. Take them out. You got them? Perfect. Take your 4 cards right now, and I want you to give them a shuffle. Shuffle those 4 cards. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Perfect. Once those 4 cards are shuffled, here's what you're going to do. You're going to take those cards, you're going to hold them as a unit like this, and what you're going to do is we're going to take those cards and we're going to bend them all in half. We're going to bend them in half. I guess we're bending them in half hamburger way, not hot dog. Everybody bend those cards in half. Perfect. And then bend them in half the other way. Perfect. And once more again the other way. We're just going to loosen the center. Now, taking your cards, holding them horizontally like this, I want everybody to take your cards and rip them directly down the center. So you'll now have 2 halves. 1 half here and 1 half here. Go ahead and do it. You can do it. Use your muscle. Come on. Perfect. Now, this is your decision. Everybody's going to make their own decision right now. With these 2 halves, you can either put your right-hand pile on top of the left or the left-hand pile on top of the right. Go ahead and make up your decision now, and you will have a small package of 8 pieces in your hand like this. Go ahead and do it. Perfect. Now, some more decisions. We're all now holding a package of 8 pieces of card. We're going to make a couple of decisions right now. First things first, take the top piece, and put it somewhere, you know what we'll do? Better yet, take the top 3 pieces. 1, 2, 3. Take the top 3 pieces, and I want you to bury those 3 pieces somewhere in the middle of the current stack you have in your hand. Not near the top, not near the bottom, somewhere in the middle. Take those 3 pieces and bury them anywhere you'd like in the middle. Perfect. Nice. Now, take the next top piece without looking at it. I want everybody to put it in their pocket. put it down, or you know what? Sit on it. Take that piece and sit on that piece. We're going to come back to that piece later. Now take the rest of your cards. You should have 7 remaining pieces. Here's what I'd like you to do. This is your decision. You can take either the top 1, 2, or 3 pieces, pick them up, 1, 2, or 3, and put those anywhere you'd like in the middle. Not near the top, not near the bottom, somewhere in the middle. Go ahead and do that now. Perfect. Now, we're going to do it again. This time, change your number. Take the top 1, 2, or 3 pieces, pick those up, and put them somewhere in the middle. Not near the top, not near the bottom, somewhere in the middle. Perfect. Here's the next part that's kind of fun. Take the next piece on the top, and I want you to switch it with a neighbor. If you have somebody with you, switch that piece for their piece. And if you don't have anybody next to you, don't worry about it. But go ahead and switch that piece with somebody. Now take that piece and lose that piece somewhere in the middle. Perfect. Now here's my favorite part of the trick. This is called the she loves me not, he loves me not part of the trick. Here's how it works. With the package in your hand, you're going to take the first top piece and you're going to put that towards the bottom. She loves me. Take the next piece and throw it over your shoulder. Boom! She loves me not, he loves me not. Then take the next piece, put that piece on the bottom. Take the next piece, throw it over your shoulder. Next piece, put it on the bottom. Next piece, over your shoulder. Next piece, put it on the bottom. Next piece, over your shoulder. Next piece, on the bottom. Next piece, over your shoulder. Next piece, on the bottom. Next piece, over the shoulder, until you're left with only one piece of card. You'll be left with one piece. Don't throw that piece over your shoulder. And if you did, go and grab it. I want you to all think about this for a second. We all have our own cards. We shuffled them up. We picked any 4 cards we wanted to. You made all the decisions. You mixed them up however you chose to. You took 1, 2, or 3 and put them in the middle. You switched pieces with somebody. We mixed them up, and we are left with one piece. But remember that one piece that we put aside at the very beginning that we're sitting on or inside of our pocket? I want everybody to take that piece out right now. And in a moment, I want you to look at those pieces. And if they match, making one whole card, well, guess what? That is a Johnson Memorial Hospital Foundation Come Alive Miracle. Take out that card. Take a look right now. Does it match? It should. And if it matches, the crowd is going to go wild. That is unbelievable. Magic in your own hands. And if that worked, you guys are amazing. Thank you all so much for being here this evening. Please go ahead and donate to the Johnson Memorial Hospital Foundation, supporting mental health. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for having me. Thank you to Raphael. And thank you to everybody at the JMH for having me here this evening. My name is Interactive Illusionist TJ Tana. Feel free to follow me on Instagram at TJ Magician. And I'd love to see you there. I'm always posting new stuff. You've been a wonderful audience. Have a great night. Thank you so much. See you later.
Thank you again for spending your evening with us. We want to send out some special thanks to AIM Media, Midwest Virtual Experiences, and Jeff Denton and the JMH Marketing Department. We are so grateful for all of them helping us to put together this wonderful evening.
I'd also like to personally thank my former resident assistant and fellow Grizzly alum, Rafael Sanchez, for making this such a great event. Rafael, take it away.
Thank you for being with us tonight. Of course, we would prefer to all be in person in some ballroom somewhere in Indiana. We'll do that again. But isn't it amazing how, despite the challenges of this unprecedented pandemic, we found a way. We found a way to come together. We found a way to continue to find a solution to a critical issue in our community. We're not looking to City Hall or to the State House or to the White House, though if they wish to provide some funds this way, I'm sure the organization will say, sure, for the good of the order, please send us some cash. But no, it's us coming together in this virtual world. I'm in a little box somewhere in your home, maybe on a plane or in a coffee shop, or who knows where I may be tonight. But we're together. That's what matters the most. So we want to thank you for your donation. We want to thank you for believing in the cause. And we look forward to seeing all of you in 2022 in person. I'm Rafael Sanchez with WRTV. Thank you for joining us tonight. And don't forget to come alive.